Hi everybody, welcome to Story Time for Year 3 and 4, and we have the final instalment of the 39 Steps, Chapter 11, which is called The 39 Steps. By 10 o'clock the next morning, I found myself on a cliff top overlooking a row of quaint villas on the Kent coast. I was joined by Scaife, an inspector from Scotland Yard with naval experience. He had just returned from a closer study of the staircases of each house. "There's only one with 39 steps," he announced. I almost jumped up and cheered at the news. "Place called Trafalgar Lodge," he went on. "Belongs to a respectable old gent called Appleton, according to the house agent." At that moment, a yacht came into the bay. She looked about 150 tons and was flying a white ensign that marked her as one of our own. "Might be innocent enough," said Scaife. "I'll go and investigate." So it was that 30 minutes later, I watched as a small fishing boat made its way to within a few feet of the yacht. I saw Scaife, looking every inch the local angler, call up to the larger craft. Some uniformed crew members appeared on the deck of the yacht and a brief conversation ensued. Then Scaife departed and was back at my side within an hour. "She's called the Ariadne," he said. "The officers and crew sound as English as you or I, but—" "What?" I asked anxiously. Scaife looked thoughtful. "There was nothing English about the captain's close-cropped hair or the cut of his collar and tie." "That settles it," I declared. "It's time I paid a visit to Trafalgar Lodge." It was just after 9 o'clock that I made my way up the path of that humble little villa. A search warrant from Scaife nestled in my breast pocket next to my racing heart. The door was answered by a young maid. I told her my name was Smith. After leaving me alone in the hall for a moment, she returned. I was ushered into a large drawing room overlooked by the garden, with the sea beyond. But it wasn't the view that first caught my eye as I entered the room. It was the three figures in evening dress standing before me. Their features may have been subtly altered by the use of false hairpieces, but I was convinced that these men were the trio who had held me captive in Scotland. The maid introduced me and withdrew. "Mr. Smith," said the white-haired old man, claiming to be Appleton. "I don't believe I've made your acquaintance." "Save your breath, sir," I said with all the courage I could muster. "The game's up. I have here a warrant for the arrest of you three gentlemen." The old man looked shocked. "Arrest?" he said. "Good grief, what for?" "For the murder of Franklin P. Scudder on the 11th of June, I replied. The tall man raised an eyebrow. "Oh, the Portland Place business. I read about it. But you're quite mistaken," he said nonchalantly. "I, for one, was in a nursing home at the time." "I was out of the country," said the stocky fellow, adjusting his tie in the mirror. "And I dined at my club until late that night," added the old man, stroking his white beard. For a split second, I wondered if I'd made the most terrible blunder. "So you see you are mistaken, young man," said the old man respectfully. "Now, if you don't mind," he added, "we are late for an engagement." I decided to take a chance. "I'm most terribly sorry, sir," I said, removing my leather glove and extending my right hand. "No hard feelings." Instinctively, the old gentleman removed his white evening glove to shake hands. In that instant, he realized his mistake, but it was too late. Both our eyes rested on the fourth finger of his bare right hand. Suddenly, he kicked over a table and produced a revolver from his pocket. "Schnell, Franz!" he cried. "Das Boot, das Boot!" The tall man and his compatriot made a dash for the door, but ran straight into Scaife's men, who were stationed outside. The old man fired a shot at police, and Franz managed to struggle free. I lunged at the old man and tackled him to the ground, sending his weapon flying from his hand. I dragged him to his feet just in time to see Franz descend the steps to the waiting yacht. "He is safe," cried the old man. "You cannot follow in time. The Schwarzenstein has triumphed." "Not for long, my fine friend," I said, as I clinked a pair of handcuffs around my prisoner's wrists. "You see, for the last hour the Ariadne has been in British hands. Those steps lead straight to the hangman's noose." As you will know, Sir Walter was proved right. War was declared a few weeks later, and I joined up immediately to fight for king and country. But I still think I'd done my best service before I even put on my uniform. The end. So they caught them just in time. There you go, that's the 39 steps. Thanks very much for reading along with me, and I'll be back again tomorrow with the next book. So thanks very much, have a great day, And should we go back to colour now? Yes, Mowless. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.